Today I want to talk about a movie called Jurassic Park, released in 1993. It is about a park opened by John Hammond with dinosaurs in it, and things go haywire in this park when a certain somebody, who we'll get to in this video, shuts down all units. Now this somebody, his name is Dennis Nedry. Here he is in the Hawaiian shirt. This other guy in the red is Dodgson. So Dodgson and Dennis Nedry are pretty much the primary villains of the entire Jurassic Park franchise, even though Nedry's only in this one. He kickstarted the entire event. So here we have them talking on an island. Now Dodgson hands Nedry this can right here, which is a Barbasol can of shaving cream, or so it looks like. Really, on the outside, this can is used as a vial holder for DNA samples from each and every dinosaur at Jurassic Park. Of course, Nedry only collects a certain amount. What he does is twist the bottom and it reveals the vials. So Nedry works for John Hammond as his primary computer technician, I guess you would call it, because he's great at hacking. He can run all these programs at one time. He is just very, very, very good at anything to do with computers. So here he is in Jurassic Park. He works for them. When John Arnold, goes and looks for the main cause of the power outage and tries to reset the cages, Nedry steps in and goes, "Oh, I'll go and find him." Okay, so he gets up from the computer station, he's the only one that knows these hacking codes. So he gets up, pretends that he doesn't know what he's doing, so he has to get up and go and find Arnold so he can help reset the primary breaker. But that's not actually Nedry's plan. See, Nedry has a plan which he and Dodgson created to steal from John Hammond. So he leaves, he gets up in the Jeep. Of course, it's pouring down rain at this point, and Nedry's glasses start to fog up. He hits a couple of bumps, he gets along the way, but he makes it. And then he gets to the main gate of Jurassic Park, which is the big iconic gate that almost every movie except the Jurassic World movies have in it. So he gets there in the Jeep and he gets through. Now in the books, Nedry is even more of a important character than he is in the movies. The movies make him out to be this computer geek that you don't actually realize is going to be your villain. And he gets in the Jeep and he's driving, and he drives to the primary containment center where all of these DNA samples for these dinosaurs are held, that each dinosaur was made from, all the cloning tubes, so to call. Excuse me. And he gets in there with ease, starts taking all of the samples after unscrewing that Barbasol can. Now that Barbasol can is actually really important in this this segment. So he unscrews all the samples, steals the Stegosaurus, steals the Metrocanthosaurus, and then he gets to the Stegosaurus, and Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now, if you'll notice, a lot of these names, and it's really well known that a lot of these names on these dinosaurs was misspelled. I don't know if it's intentional or accidental or just something the production crew didn't realize. But they start stealing, or he starts stealing all these samples, stuffing them in his vials. He gets to the Velociraptor, and again, the T-Rex. And it appears he also got to the Gallimimus. And he takes those samples as well, starts stuffing him in his little Barbasol can, and then he gets the hell out of there, gets the hell out of Dodge, and he gets in his Jeep, and he ends up wrecking. He hits a rock, gets stuck. Well, now he's in a bit of a pickle himself. So he takes the winch, he ties it down, he drags it down the hill, which more of, by dragging down the hill, I mean he falls down the hill and rolls down the hill like the penguin. Here he is, as I said, rolling down the hill. Now what caused this was obviously he slipped in the mud and could not get back up. Now Nedry here, unfortunately, this is going to be the last place that Jeep is going to be parked for a while. Nedry here falls into the worst place possible, which is the Dilophosaurus center. So he's in the Dilo. The Dilo's staring face to face with him. I don't think Nedry realized that the Dilophosaurus is actually as dangerous as they are. Now in real life, Dilos don't actually have the frill. He starts taunting the thing, and then it releases its frills and its poison. So Nedry's in a bit of a pickle now. He's covered in poison, and it gets in his eyes, it gets on his glasses, on his uniform, on his jacket, and obviously there until, since he had glasses on, he can still see for the time being. So he removes his glasses, and I'm sorry, this is when he was taunting the Dilophosaurus before it released its frills at him. He taunted it, said it wasn't so scary, and that he wasn't afraid of it, and started prodding his stick at it. Well, now it is so scary, and Nedry's covered in the Dilophosaurus poison. And here you can see it has sprayed him again, only this time in his eyes. So now he's blinded, and he's going to remain blinded for the remainder of this part of the segment as he attempts to regain sight to get to his vehicle, which is still parked uphill. So he starts climbing his way back up the hill, realizing that the poison is now affecting him. Now, once he gets uphill and makes it back to the Jeep, he has a new problem. And this new problem is that he's not alone in the vehicle. Okay? So he's sitting, he thinks he's good, he thinks he's escaped the Dilo. Well, truth is, he hasn't. So this is when he looks over and realizes that, oh shit, I'm not alone. There is something in here with me. And that something is your Dilophosaurus, which sprays him again, this time in the face, the eyes, and now he definitely is blinded for the remainder of this segment, I guess. So he remains blinded, and then he looks over again, and there it is. Yeah, I guess I added that in here twice. Didn't mean to do that. Obviously, this was a prior segment to when he was sprayed with the poison. I guess I accidentally added it twice. That's my bad. Sloppy editing. I'm sorry. Anyways, we're going to get back into it. After the Dilophosaurus is sprayed him again, he's back in his vehicle, covered. And then Dennis Nedry makes the fatal mistake of looking over, and there it is, the Dilophosaurus sitting in his passenger seat of the Jeep, staring him deep into the eyes. Nedry knew it was over. The Dilophosaurus would be his maker. This was the end for Nedry. After this, you can only assume that the Dilophosaurus ate him. And of course, sprays him in the eyes again. I believe this scene is actually from when he lost his glasses and it sprayed him in the face prior to him getting into the Jeep. And then you get to the Telltale game, and it shows you that you can actually find Dennis Nedry's deceased body in the Jeep. But guess what's gone? The Dilophosaurus is no longer there. So, after finding Nedry's body, this is the final part of Nedry's life story. Yes, there is documentation saying he is deceased, his body was found, and family was notified. Then you get to this show right here, Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, released in the 2020-2021 era, and it brings back something remarkable. Y'all remember that Barbasol can? Well, apparently, in that scene where Nedry was sprayed, he drops the can and enters this man right here, Lewis Dodgson, from the very first Jurassic Park, has returned. And after him and the crew are chased, Lewis Dodgson falls, he ducks down, starts crawling around, and lo and behold, there it sits. The Barbasol can. With the samples still in it, Dodgson has a plan. Now, y'all remember the can was originally intended to steal the samples from Engine. Well, not anymore. Now he plans on using these samples to start off his main place. Enter Jurassic World Dominion, and Lewis Dodgson returns. Here's your Barbasol can. And what's that to the left? A raptor claw. Now, is it the one that Alan Grant had? Possible, because he did drop it in Jurassic Park 3. So, enter the Barbasol can and the raptor claw in Jurassic World Dominion. But you know, that can and that claw are not the only things returning in this movie. You see, Dodgson returns, the claw returns, the Barbasol can, with the samples or without the samples, returns. But you know what doesn't return? Nedry. He dead. Anyways, Lewis Dodgson returns in this movie as the primary villain. So obviously here he is. Man, y'all, Dodson's about to get the worst karma ever. You see, y'all remember that Dilophosaurus that attacked Nedry, sprayed him in the face, killed him, mauled him in the vehicle? Well, guess what? They're back. And this time, Lewis Dodgson is the one to encounter them. So, here he is as he faces face to face with none other than the thing that took his little stealing partner earlier in the series. The Dilophosaurus has now sprayed Dodgson. And if you'll realize, Dodgson has glasses, just like the Nedry did. And this here is pretty much going to wrap up Lewis Dodson's story as well. Yeah, he gets sprayed. There's a pack of Dilophosaurs in there. And lo and behold, the final scene with Lewis Dodgson is this right here. So, that's the story of Dennis Nedry and Lewis Dodgson. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. It was very fun to make. A lot of factual evidence and pictures that I had to hunt down and sequence for y'all. Please like and subscribe. See y'all later.